How goes it, everyone? I am the world famous Fat Kid, and well, we're doing week 3 recap, and well, not as good as last week. I had some slam dunk 100%ers. Knew they were gonna win, absolutely choke it away, and yeah, that's kind of how this week went. So let's check it out. Big 9-7. I mean, still winning, still above 500. So haven't had a losing week yet. That's the good part right there. But yeah, it's downward trend. So let's go over the game, shall we? So first, Thursday night, it was Niners Giants. That's exactly how I figured it would go. Niners just absolutely dominated the game. The Giants only got 150 total yards. Yeah, that's bad. But Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, looked really good. 310 yards, 2 touchdowns. And I mean, Debo and McCaffrey both doing what they do best. About 120 plus for each of them. I mean, that offense is no fair. That's all I got. We got that one right, so put that in the win column for us. But one of my 100%ers, no doubt about it, games. Ravens Colts. Yeah, if you follow football, you know what happened. The Colts beat the Ravens. I mean, beat them by a field goal in overtime. Now, I will say this. Ravens got screwed over in overtime. They had a no call on a pass interference. Like, it should have been first down. But ref didn't call it and turned the ball over on 4th down. That resulted in the game-winning field goal. That being said, it never should have gone to overtime. I mean, the Ravens could not do anything in regulation. They couldn't. I mean, it's all right though. Running back 1, Jackson looked really good, running for 101 yards, 2 touchdowns. Yeah. Oh, Lamar Jackson, he's a great passer. He had no receiver over 50 yards. He's a running back. Stop it. Anyway, yeah. Indy couldn't really move the ball, and Baltimore just matched the same pace. So it came down to Matt Gay kicking 4 50-plus yard field goals in a game. First time in history, including the game winner, I believe was 53. So, I mean, props to him, but that was a terrible game. Although Zach Moss did run all over Baltimore for 122 yards. But, yeah, that was an ugly game. I got it wrong. 1-1. Let's see here. Browns Titans. Browns going up to 2-1. Titans falling to 1-2. 27-3. The Browns, I mean, they just completely shut down the Titans. Titans had less than 100 yards of offense. I guess a good defense and an inept offense. That's what you get. Although Derrick Henry only 20 yards rushing. That's saying something right there. I mean, the Browns, I don't think anybody was over 40 yards rushing. They have no game without Chubb, and that's kind of sad. The Browns just kind of fell into a win here because they were playing the Titans. But I said the Titans were going to win, thinking Derrick Henry was going to do much better than he did. Okay, 1-2. We're moving on. Lions Falcons. Yeah, this is about what I expected. 20-6. Not exactly dominating out of Detroit, but hey, it worked. But a special shout out to Sam Laporta, Iowa alum, first NFL touchdown. That's awesome. Dude's actually been a pretty big part of the game. I mean, 84 yards last game and the said touchdown. He's going to be another one of those Iowa tight ends that are that are pretty big names. So let's see here. Atlanta, yeah, nothing really to write home about. Yeah, that's a shame. Okay. Next game. Oh, sorry, yeah. 2-2. We'll move up to the next game, which is Packers Saints. I mean, it was going how I expected it until Carr went out with shoulder injury. I mean, 17-0 in the first half. They weren't exactly dominating, but the defense was just stifling. The offense was And then the injury, and I don't know what changed, but I mean, all of a sudden, Packers in the fourth quarter, not even the second half, the fourth quarter, 18 points. I mean, give credit to Jordan Love. He played phenomenal in the second half. He willed his team to a win. But, I mean, the change was just definitely noticeable. I called the Saints winning. I was wrong on that one. 2-3. Moving on to another slam dunk. Whatever. Jags Texans. This was relatively embarrassing for the Jags. Couldn't do anything right. They even let a fullback return a kickoff for a touchdown, which, by the way, in NFL history, that is the heaviest player to ever return a kickoff. 255 pounds. That's kind of crazy. But, I mean, the Jags just could not stop the Texans. Stroud looked pretty good. I mean, 280 yards, 2 touchdowns. Not bad. Tank Dell came out of flubbing nowhere. 5 catches, 145 yards, and a touchdown. Granted, you take away his 68-yarder, he's still 77 yards. Yeah, that's still pretty good. 4 catches, that'd be a pretty good stat line, but then he essentially sealed the game in the second half with that 68-yarder. Which is crazy because the Jags, the offense didn't look terrible. They just could not do it when they needed to. Because, I mean, Trevor Lawrence, 279 yards, 1 touchdown, but he did throw a pick. And ETN, 88 yards rushing, 50 receiving yards. 138 total yards. That's not a bad day at the office. Just timing was bad. I picked them to win the AFC South. Well, I may be regretting that one, but moving on. Another loss 2-5 or 3 or whatever. I don't care. Next one is history, to say the least. Dolphins Broncos 70. I don't know if I've ever seen that many points. I mean, I would go through some of the stats, but honestly, go play a Madden and like make up your own stats, because that's how insane this game was. Pretty embarrassing for the Broncos. That's all I gotta say. The Dolphins are absolutely terrifying right now. They may be the best team in the NFL right now. I mean, who's better? Nobody. Right now. That's if everybody stays healthy. I think Waddle missed the game, or he went out in the game. Either way, if they stay healthy enough, they're gonna wreck fools. I picked the Dolphins. We're back to the winning record stuff. Okay, so next game is the battle of the perennial chokers. Vikings-Chargers in Minnesota. All signs pointed towards Minnesota finally getting it. No. Out of the battle of the chokers, Minnesota choked hardest. When the game was on the line, Cousins just threw an interception in the end zone. Or in the red zone. Either way, it was a late game turnover with the game on the line. Before that, he played very well. 367 yards, 3 touchdowns, but that pick, that just shut it down. And it's not like they had to rely only on him. Madison, 93 rush yards, pretty good. And, I mean, Justin Jefferson, do I really need to say it? They could not stop him. They couldn't. But, on the other side, Herbert played out of his mind. 405 yards, 3 touchdowns. Over half of his passing yards went to Keenan Allen. 215 receiving yards. That's insane. Keenan Allen veteran right there. Just absolutely destroyed that Vikings defense. Oh, on top of that, Mike Williams, 121 yards on 7 catches. But without Eckler, 30 rush yards. The Chargers aren't going to go anywhere unless they can get Eckler healthy and actually, gel. Because this is not working out for him. If they need a 200-yard game out of Keenan Allen every week, that's a tall order. But I picked the Vikings. I was wrong. Lol. Your season's over. Sucks to be you. Sorry. I know the feeling, though. Moving on. Patriots-Jets. That was a boring game. 15-10. I mean, it went about as I expected. The Patriots aren't very good. The Jets aren't very good. I don't know what's going on with the defense. I expected them to be much better, but I picked the Patriots because the Jets season it was over after the 4th play of Week 1. So picked the Patriots, got it right. Moving on to Buffalo and Washington. It went how I figured. The Bills just absolutely crushed the Commanders. It's what I expected. The sleeping giant, they got caught with their pants down against the Jets Week 1. Absolutely destroyed the Raiders. And I think they're going to keep steamrolling. Maybe not next week. That's a tough game for me to decide. Because Because I believe it, yeah. Miami Buffalo next week. Oof. We'll get to that in another video. Let's see here. Panthers Seahawks. You know what? I was surprised by the Panthers. They showed a lot more than I thought. Granted, they still lost, and I picked the Seahawks. But I mean, you throw Thielen with Red Rifle, they didn't look bad. Not bad at all. I mean, Dalton 361 yards, 2 touchdowns. Thielen 145 and a touchdown. Like, that's a pretty good combination right there. Bryce Young, I mean, maybe they'd let him sit for an extra week or two, make sure he's 100% healthy, see what Dalton can do. I don't know. But, I mean, Seattle's offense was slow to start. It was what? 12-10 going into half. But they came out. Kenneth Walker he's really good, you know. I'm upset I didn't draft him. Oh well, whatever. Let's see here. Seattle won. Picked him. Woo! Moving on to the funniest and best game, in my opinion. You got the Dallas Cowboys and the Arizona Cardinals. With the Cardinals, everyone expecting them to be tanking, winning 28-16. I mean, Cowboys are in postseason form right now, just playing like absolute trash. It's exciting. You know, every team, drops one to somebody that they should have beat. I get that, but it just makes me feel good when it's the Cowboys. I mean, Josh Dobbs threw for 189 yards. That's it. Connor, though, ran for 98 and a touchdown. Like, they couldn't stop the run game. You can't say Diggs was that big of a loss when it was the run game that was dominating. Whatever. Although Pollard for the Cowboys just ran all over Arizona for 122. But I thought this was fun. 3 catches, -1 yard. So right there, you had more receiving yards in that game than Tony Pollard. And he caught 3 passes. That's crazy. That is crazy. Anyway, I picked the Cowboys thinking, early in the year, they show out. They dominate people. And then, later on, they kind of sputter out. But I picked the Cowboys. Obviously, I was wrong. Whatever. Moving on. This one's going to be quick. Chiefs-Bears, 41-3. Okay. Okay, this is the part of the program that hurts. This is where we go into Sunday Night Football, which I picked the Steelers. Oh, yeah, I picked the Chiefs, obviously. I picked the Steelers to win because I know the Raiders are garbage. I know they're bad. And I was right. The junior varsity defense that the Raiders have, minus Crosby and maybe Divine Diablo, other than that, that junior varsity, that JV defense made Pickett look good. And he's not. I mean, Pickett, 235, 2 touchdowns. He was efficient. Should have had a pick 6, but Marcus Boomer Bust Peters can't catch a ball to save his life. Now, I guess. I'm a ball hawk. I've never liked Marcus Peters. Moving on. Like, yeah, Jimmy G, 324 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 picks. Shut up, motorcycle. I mean, Devontae Adams, 13 catches, 172 yards, 2 touchdowns. 172 yards. Remember that. Because Jacoby Myers, 7 catches, 85 yards. Put those two together. Okay? Let's do the quick math. That's 257. 257 of his 324 passing. That leaves 67 yards going to however many other people. It's a 2 receiver show. What happened to Renfrow? Sorry, this is not the video for that. I will go into that, especially after the Raiders lose to the Chargers this week, whatever you want to call it. I'll drop a what is wrong with the Raiders video, in my opinion, later. But anyway, Steelers. Oh yeah, well, let's kick the field goal after we kick the field goal, but we need a touchdown. Whatever. Wait, what? Whatever. Yeah, I picked the Steelers. Steelers won. Moving on to the first game of Monday Night Football, Eagles-Bucks. Eagles defense just looked very good. They kept Baker, 146 yards. And I think they had less than 50 yards rushing. That defense looked really good. But Hurts, kind of pedestrian. 277 yards. Yeah, pretty good. Touchdown. Yeah. 2 picks. Like, those picks weren't exactly like... They were throws he shouldn't have made. I don't know. It's early. Hurts will fix it, but... Yeah, that was just... Oh, yeah, DeAndre Swift. Ooh, boy, he was shot out of a cannon a few different times. Anyway, yeah, that run game looks solid. Defense looks even better. I think the Eagles are the best team in the NFC. So you got Eagles, Miami right now, if we were to do Super Bowl predictions after week 3. But we'll do that later. Yeah, pick Philly. Philly won, as expected. So then we go to the absolute crapshoot that was Bengals-Rams for the nightcap of Monday Night Football. It honestly looked like neither team wanted to win. Nobody was moving the ball. They ho-hum. It was not a good game to watch. It was boring. Like, I don't even know if T. Higgins plays football anymore. They kept trying to force the ball to Jamar Chase. Burrow may not be ready to come back, but he's playing. Whatever. And I don't know what's going on with the Rams. Stafford looked good one week, looked bad another, looked bad again. Like, I don't know what's going on with the Rams. But I picked them to win, thinking they had it figured out. Close game against the Niners last week, and then this. So, whatever. That's how we finished the week. 9-7. It's a winning record, so I guess we'll just be we'll be happy about that. So until next time, I hope to catch you in the next video. Have a good one.